He is a fool, an incompetent individual who does not read even the briefings that he still gets as a former president on some of these things, so he at least have some workable knowledge.
Michael Steele just dropped a truth bomb so savage, even Trump's ego might need therapy. This isn't your average political eye roll. It's a full-blown revelation from a former GOP chair who's clearly done playing nice with the circus. If you thought you had Trump figured out, the myth, the man, the spray-tanned mirage, think again. Steele just flipped the script, and the tea is scalding.
It's just not normal. This is the musings and actions of a petty, afraid little man who's sitting behind a very big desk and wielding a lot of power. But at the end of the day, he's a scared little boy who feels that this is the only way he can get.
Michael Steele just tore the mask off Donald Trump's carefully crafted chaos, and it's brutal. If you've been hiding under a MAGA hat, you might not realize the full extent of what he exposed, the unfiltered, absurdist circus Trump has built, where saying the wildest things with zero consequences is not just tolerated, it's the main act.
I would actually, you know what? I'd just like you to show that you give a damn. That you got a little emotion about the fact that people are losing their jobs indiscriminately. That this individual sitting down at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has given absolute power to one man who brings his son into the Oval Office, whose son says to him, "You're not the president. You shouldn't be in that chair."
If you're expecting Steele's truth to be a bombshell, you're giving Trump way too much credit. The real shocker? That anyone still thinks he has a shred of self-awareness. Steele lays it bare. Trump is a walking, talking catastrophe who's been unleashed on the public stage with no filter, no oversight, and apparently no clue.
So, America, y'all waking up this morning to a 25% tax on your toys, your electronics, your fresh produce, lumber, and cars, 10% tax if it's coming from China. Y'all don't think this is, you're not going to feel this? In what universe do you not, does someone not pass on their cost to you? Tell me what universe. And would you, as a business owner, if I increased your cost by 25% or 10%, you're not passing that on to your customers? Are you just going to eat?
Despite the nonstop spotlight, Trump has turned every move into a full-blown train wreck. Steele highlights what we've all witnessed. A man stumbling through politics like he's playing hopscotch in clown shoes, every leap clumsy, every step misguided, yet somehow always failing upward like only a reality TV president could.
I'm like, no, what are you doing? How the hell does this party embrace such Putin-esque leadership?
Trump doesn't do sensible if it were a dress code. He'd show up to a black tie gala in a neon green tracksuit. As Steele points out, Trump's grasp of politics is as shallow as a puddle in a drought. Forget diplomacy or long-term vision. His idea of foreign policy mirrors a failed casino. If it crashes, declare bankruptcy, throw a fit, and move on. For Trump, international relations boil down to a popularity contest. They like me or they don't, and he sticks to it, even when it explodes in his face.
What?
Okay,
I don't
Mr.
understand
Chairman.
how this party comes to this point where they look at Viktor Orban and say, yeah, we want to do that here. They look at Putin and go, more of that. We hate NATO now. We don't align with the free world. We want to hang out with basically folks who are the Taliban. I don't understand.
If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe because we're just getting started. For all his talk of being a business genius, Trump's financial history looks more like a toddler playing Monopoly than a seasoned mogul. And true to form, every flop is someone else's fault. Because why take responsibility when you can just shout witch hunt? As Steele points out, Trump's economic policy hinges on one thing: repeat the lie until it sounds like truth. Spoiler, it didn't work. It was a Trump tower of lies, flashy on the outside, hollow at the core. Steele doesn't hold back, calling out Trump's so-called leadership for what it is: a chaotic, self-serving mess held together by ego, denial, and threats. His motto, do as I say, not as I do, and never question me unless you want Twitter smoke.
Aspect of this, which I thought was how should we put it, rich. It was a rich moment for me when Trump talked about an unelected bureaucracy. Let's take a quick listen to that, please.
We have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
So there were two aspects of that that I thought were rich. One, the bobbleheads behind the president voted for those bureaucrats.
If there's ever been a masterclass in turning a crisis into a catastrophe, Trump's pandemic response is it. He tackled COVID with the grace of a squirrel on Red Bull, crossing a freeway chaotic, clueless, and completely unprepared. The man literally said, "I don't take responsibility at all," and meant it. Given the keys to America's health response, he shrugged, winged it, and treated a deadly virus like a PR scandal he could out-tweet. Instead of leadership, we got denial, confusion, and tragic incompetence. As Michael Steele puts it, Trump didn't lead. He dictated, deflected, and left disaster in his wake.
Trump's tariffs, he doesn't hold all the cards, but he tells us he does.
Yeah.
And with a compliant, afraid press, legal and judicial community, he gets away with a lot of crap. And so it's important that reasoned voices out there point that out and tell people, no, he got no clothes on. That is a high white ass you see right now that does not get the orange suntan like his face does.
Let's talk about Trump's media circus. Michael Steele doesn't hold back here. The man who lived and died by Twitter treated every press conference like a wrestling match. And if anyone dared question him, they were instantly dubbed fake news. The only fake thing? The constant need to explain the obvious to someone who refused to get it. Trump's relationship with facts was a never-ending sitcom, no plot. Just confusion, bad jokes, and characters who had no idea what they were talking about. And his cabinet? A disaster. Picking his team was like drawing names from a hat, no qualifications, no competence. Just a bunch of yes men willing to go along with whatever Trump dreamed up.
In the wake of the mid-air collision near Washington, Donald Trump chose to pull the country apart rather than together. After declaring it to be an hour of anguish for our nation, Trump just 5 minutes later tried to blame diversity policies promoted by Presidents Biden and Obama for the crash.
Want to know who might have been the best secretary during Trump's administration? The guy who simply wrote yes on his resume. From an education secretary who thought schools should be private businesses, to a defense secretary who probably just finished watching Top Gun for the 10th time. Trump's cabinet was more of a punchline than a government team. And then there's the wall. Oh, of course it had to come up. Steele expertly roasts Trump's obsession with building a giant, impractical, ego-driven monument to himself. One that was supposed to solve America's immigration woes. The build the wall chants? Just a distraction from the real truth. Trump wasn't interested in solving problems. He just wanted a shiny structure to slap his name on. It's like buying a Ferrari to impress people, only to realize it doesn't run, and you don't even know how to drive it.
I know y'all have heard Donald Trump say this quite a bit.
We will drill, baby, drill. We will drill, baby, drill. It's called drill, baby, drill.
I can assure you, I coined that phrase at the Republican National Convention in 2008.
Then let's reduce our dependency on foreign sources of oil and promote oil and gas production at home. Let me make it very clear. Drill, baby, drill, and drill now.
I can also assure you that when I hear Donald Trump use that phrase, it tells me he has very little appreciation or understanding of the current U.S. energy position. It is strong, and it is driven by robust oil and gas production.
The truth Steele exposes is simple. Trump is the walking embodiment of bad decisions, wrapped in gold-plated bluster and empty promises. He's like that guy at a dinner party who loudly claims he's the host, knocks over all the wine glasses, and somehow convinces everyone it's the best party they've ever been to, even though half the guests are crying in the corner. But hey, at least he's got a shiny gold tower to back up his claims, right? So what have we learned from Steele's truth bomb? That Donald Trump isn't a leader. He's a spectacle. He's not a visionary. He's a man of ego. He's not a strategist. He's a chaos creator. We've all seen the headlines tantrums, Twitter rants, policy decisions that seem to come from a hat, or more likely, the back of a fast food wrapper. It's like the only thing Trump mastered was the art of distracting everyone from real issues with a never-ending stream of absurdities. His entire presidency felt like a reality show no one could escape from. And, let's face it, no one really wanted to.
Me, it's very simple. It's very simple. When the man running for president of this country says he wants to be a dictator, full stop, I'm done. I don't give a rat's behind what else he's done, because that tells me how he sees the country and how he sees the future of the country, with him as the center of it.
And as much as we can all laugh at his every move, one thing is clear. The only thing more unpredictable than Trump's decisions was the response to them, which somehow managed to make things even worse. The endless spin, the media circus, the cult of personality, it all turned into a grotesque feedback loop of nonsense that somehow gained momentum. Steele's analysis serves as a refreshing reminder that what we witnessed wasn't just a political movement. It was a masterclass in how to turn the presidency into an absolute clown show. And we were all just unlucky enough to be in the audience. If there's anything that sums up Michael Steele's truth, it's that it's not some mind-blowing, earth-shattering revelation. No, it's more like that moment when you remember you left the oven on. Not exactly shocking, but it definitely hits differently when someone says it out loud.
And so how our country deals with these two big behemoths matters. To have a president who's a sycophant in the case of Russia and fundamentally does not understand the economics with respect to China puts us in the position where, yeah, he goes out and has a national liberation day, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, only to back off the liberation, and so it becomes national capitulation.
The truth is a sharp reminder that Donald Trump is exactly as bad as we all feared he was, and as a bonus, even worse. Let's be real. How did anyone ever think this circus clown was the solution to anything? The fact that he managed to convince so many people he was anything but a walking disaster is a masterclass in the power of delusion, all wrapped up in a shiny golden spectacle. It's like the ultimate proof that if you throw enough noise and nonsense at people, they'll believe anything. In the end, the truth Steele is offering isn't groundbreaking. It's just painfully obvious. Trump's entire political career has been one long, epic, tragic comedy, a bad soap opera with zero plot twists. And Steele? Well, he's the one who isn't afraid to stand there and shout, "Hey, the punchline's already been told, and it's not funny anymore."